Oh, sorry. I just got a note from the back saying that they're angry I hit the microphone. I'm sorry.
They're deducting it from your pay.
All the zero pay. Thank you.
Slashing that zero salary.
Michael in Florida, please save me. You're talking to Eric and V.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Yeah, those last calls were very interesting, and I was actually going on Amazon to search for the books that you recommended because, I love reading. But yeah, so I'm a first-time caller. I've watched a little bit of the Atheist Experience, and I really find it interesting though because it's personally, I was very religious, and I would describe myself as agnostic, because I guess for two reasons is because I've had a lot of questions about the Bible and just some things that didn't make sense to me. I'm still studying it, and I'm still seeing some things that I didn't really notice before. Another reason is one that's very personal to me is the group that I was in. I was in one group for about a year. It was they would say they're Christian, but looking back on it now, it had the characteristics of, in the psychological sense, a cult. So it's been very difficult, transitioning out of that, just emotionally, and also just figuring out what to believe, figuring out what is true, because I believe that truth is objective and that we do have a way of knowing whether or not certain things are true. Even though now when somebody claims to have all the answers to questions that humanity has been tackling for millennia, I'm skeptical. Because I was in an environment where...
You're giving us a lot of things. And I know you're sharing, but in some of those things, I think we may disagree with you. I know I disagree with you on a couple of them, especially when we're talking about truth. But I kind of want to see if I can cut to the meat here. And that I think, please tell me if I'm wrong, I'm cheating by looking at the notes, that you're talking about kind of what happens to those other things that hinged on religion, all of those other thoughts about, your place in the world and, this, let's see, finding someone, you were told that there was a God that created someone perfectly for you, or or as we were talking about in an earlier call, the idea of hell, those kinds of things. Does that kind of sum up what you were wanting to talk about?
I guess what I want to talk about specifically is how, I know it's a very broad question, but how do I continue living life after leaving religion? And more specifically, how do I find that special someone? Because I find now it's actually harder as an agnostic or an atheist to find someone to date or to marry compared to when I was a Christian.
Do you think that might be because of access to community?
I guess, well, I think that is a possibility because when I was into my religion, it was a lot of it had a component of community. And I guess maybe an issue now is finding people who are like-minded.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, I would say that actually, if you look at it statistically, your job is your goal is easier to accomplish because you've weeded out quite a significant portion of the population. So the numbers of people you have to sort through is now a lot smaller. So in one perspective, you actually just made your job a whole lot easier. But also, I would say that I get it. I have many friends who are my age or younger who are moving on in that relationship escalator. They got on and they are now married. They now have children. They have a house. And it's because their culture, which is heavily inspired by their religion, told them that's what they're supposed to do. So they went and they did it. And they found somebody and they're making it work. And that's great. And I'm very happy for them. But also, it kind of feels like a cop-out in a way. Like if you're just told like, hey, you're supposed to find someone by this age, and that other person is expecting you to come over and you know, be a significant other, it makes it a lot easier, but it also makes it a lot more likely that you might get stuck in a situation that you don't want to be in otherwise.
Yeah. Also,
so basically, like if I could summarize what you're saying, don't be afraid to take time. Like, don't rush things, basically.
Yeah, if you're anything like me, if you used to be a Christian or used to be involved in that kind of religion, you are on that timeline. You know, you're like, oh, for me, I'm 26 and I'm not married yet. Oh, fuck. 'Cause
got to get on that.
Right. Because, like, on the timeline that was set for me by the culture I was raised in, I'm late. I'm behind. I'm not doing my life the way I should. And for a while there, that was very scary. But now it's very liberating to look around and be like, this is my life. And it's very different than what I expected or what I planned. But it's what I'm making it, and it's exactly where I want to be, and I'm exactly who I want to be, and I'm free to explore that, and I can take time. And maybe I'll find that special somebody, maybe I won't, but it's going to be on my timeline, and it's going to be on my terms.
Cheers to that. I mean, and just to add in, there's something really amazing when you create the purpose yourself. Mm-hmm. If it's getting dictated down from on high to you, I tend to find that the sense of personal accomplishment when meeting goals that you set for yourself, it's fantastic. The only other things that I would add in is that Tim Minchin quote that I'll probably say forever, and that is, if you're looking for a 1 in a million person, that means that there are 7,000 people exactly like that. I don't actually like the term that special someone, because really it's, instead of thinking that there's somebody out there that's handpicked for you, instead, instead of approaching someone else as their own autonomous individual that you decide to have this relationship with and build something amazing together and create this bond and these shared memories and it's an experience, and it's something that I wouldn't cheapen by saying, well, of course it was going to happen because you were made for me.
Right, you have no choice in this matter.
Right, but to look at that person, you know, and to say, hey, I'm here because I'm choosing to be here, because you're choosing to be here. There's something amazing about it. Definitely don't discount that, because I think it adds a lot of value to relationships post-religion.
Yeah, you get to choose who you're with, and you get to make that relationship work.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll think about that, actually. And I know I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you have other callers, but I guess in terms of rebuilding my life and stuff, I don't know if you're too well researched onto this, but I guess what advice would you give for somebody who used to be in a cult and is trying to find a way to rebuild?
Recovering from Religion Foundation has a hotline project that you can call and talk to people who have been either in that situation or who can point you to people who are trained to help you in that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other side of being entirely unspectacular. You know, if you're 1 in a million, that means that there are 7,000 other people like you. And that also means that you're not uniquely unlovable. You're just not that special. And it's a wonderful freedom. You also aren't staging this out, and you're not the first person to experience this, which means that you have resources and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can go out and you can talk to other people about it. Into the mind. See, no, that's my ADD, Michael.
Finding a deal with the devil, huh?
Right? It's reaching out to community, because you do have access to it. You know, if you have internet, you can hop on the Discord where we're going to be going right after the show. You can hop on Facebook, Instagram. well, not Instagram so much, Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, we've got a Twitter account.
Yeah. Reddit. I really love the Reddit.
Yeah. We've got good people over there.
Yeah, we do. That said, there are also a ton of atheist skeptics groups in Florida. So if meeting people in person is good and helpful, awesome, but you're not alone, man. You don't have to do this by yourself if you don't want to. And especially if you have those questions, having people to talk to, it helps a lot.
Yeah, I mean, can't really argue against that.
So
it's helping right now, obviously.
Yeah, it's kind of what it is, and it's pretty awesome.
And it's scary, and we get that. And
oh yeah,
I've been there.
Yeah.
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 But you find your people. If you go looking, you'll find them. They're there. You're not alone.
You're talking to two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to know.
For sure.
Yeah, I guess like one thing that really dawned on me is I guess to piggyback a little bit on what one of the previous callers said was I don't want people to love me for what I believe, but I want to have people who love me for who I am,
Kamal, you were just quoted. Yes.
There you go.
Love it. I want to see it.
It's our beliefs change over time,
Yeah. Yep.
That said, hopefully this helped.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it.
And if you want to talk more about your love life after religion, you can call on Thursdays at 7 Central.
Is there a show?
There is. It's called Secular Sexuality, and I'll be on that too. Not this week.
Oh, interesting.
It's Thanksgiving this week, but next week we have a show. My co-host is a sex therapist.
Ooh.
So we have some really good conversations about the more romantic side of things. So feel free to call into that show too.
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean,
and that's Thursdays at 7 Central.
Yep, live show.
Awesome. Cool. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
Definitely.
Hopefully I'll hear from you again.
take care, man.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. When somebody calls in for parenting advice and you don't have any kids and they want relation advice and you're single, I feel so not qualified, but it has helped me. Hopefully it'll help you.
Oh yeah, I'm just telling you all the things that people told me at this point about those issues. I'm like, okay, I've heard this works.
Yeah, for sure.